Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ASRA Cup Series here for Season 5 as we are in the playoffs at Michigan International Speedway, presented by Ken Adams Q, Oils and NFT 200. Today we've got 100 laps. Stage 1's going to be at 20. Stage 2's going to be at 50. And this race is the first week of playoffs, round of 12. Next week will be round of 8, but we've got 12 drivers out today battling it out to advance. And I'll tell you what, everything has come down to this. The gloves are off and we are ready to race. I cannot wait for today to happen. My name is Jacob Emery alongside Steve Tucker in the booth. Steve, what are your thoughts, man? We are ready to roll.
Yes, sir, we are. Playoffs are here for the ASRA Cup Series. And man, oh man, Michigan has always been an awesome place to go. It's kind of a mini Daytona, people like to joke about. It's just very fast, very wide out. And right now, we're going to find out who exactly can start off their playoffs just like they wanted to.
Absolutely. This is where it all counts. Michigan, you talked about it, is kind of like that Daytona Talladega feel. Super speedway. A lot of ways to get around this track. They're going to figure it out soon what they can make happen out here today. This is a large, long, wide track. So a lot of different areas. You can go the inside, outside, and guess what? A little bit of drafting as well. So a lot of dynamics to this first race to start off this playoff. Can't wait to see it happen.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this place is just fast, right? I mean, these guys are having a hard time, kind of, not really a hard time, but draft is just huge here, Emery. I mean, it's just so draft dependent. It's just going to be, come down to that, right? It's just teammates. Who can you work with on the straightaway? A lot can play here. Tires as well. I mean, you get a hold on to those tires, definitely play a factor. Stages are kind of short, but the fuel mileage plays around that just a little bit. So fuel consumption will be a key here in fuel saving.
No, you're right about that. Stage 1's going to be at that 20 mark, so kind of a shootout right out of the gate here at Michigan. Stage 2's going to be at 50. But, man, I'll tell you what, talk about these playoff drivers right now. Brandon Six at a huge lead. He's got a lot of points ahead of these guys, but, man, Frankie Barroso right there, Devins in third, and Daryl Young, Roger Pierce, those guys are really battling out. They need to advance. Guys like Smith, Fleming, Larson's there at the bottom. I don't know what's going to happen. All these good drivers, it's all led up to this. It's been so much dynamics, so many things happening during the regular season. It's been fun to watch these drivers out here do what they do. The competition has been so strong. I love to see this happen, man. This first, the round of 12 is going to be wild to see who advanced to round of 8. And I just can't wait, Steve. It's going to be a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, man. Today, Michigan, going to be a lot of fun. Everybody in these cars right here, that green playoff banner you just saw, that Roger Pierce machine, man, that looks so cool. The black and the lime green works perfectly for us. So great job right there. And then, folks, on the left side of your screen, the tower right here, the scoring tower, everybody in that silver is a part of the top 12 for the championship playoffs. So watch out for them. Those are going to be the guys who are fighting for those points, fighting for the stage wins, and just points in general. So they're going to be your top 12 so far. That'll obviously dwindle down. Next week, Emery, is Dover. Nice, fun, short track, and then obviously that'll be the end of round 12. But right now we have a poll to decide. About 3 minutes left to go, and DJ Honeycutt looking pretty fast today.
Yeah, DJ Honeycutt right up front looking strong out of the gates. Love to see that as we see a car going through the grass. He's going to hit the wall. Unfortunate there, Steve.
Man, it wouldn't be a race day broadcast in an ASRA race without seeing Nick Lights just full send it into the wall. So pretty cool right there for him. Always a joke. Jamie Graham right here, Emery. This is some breaking news here. Some silly season already early at the beginning of these playoffs. Jamie Graham here actually doing a workout a little bit for right now Brian Murphy Esports. So him and Devin Smirker are a little bit of teammates for the remainder of these 5 races. So pretty cool right there. Might see Jamie Graham behind a Murphy Esports car next year, but some pretty cool things right there as well.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he's not done collecting some drivers for next season. I think you'll see a team come out together here for season 6, and watch out for them because there's some strong drivers. Good looks for Jamie getting on board with him. So that's really cool to see.
Yes, sir.
Well, right now, Honeycutt's got the lead. Devins in second at 26. Anderson He's in the 83. He's in third. Joseph Mealy in fourth. DJ Honeycutt, I might have said that wrong. 22 Honeycutt. That's the family. Donnie Honeycutt, he's in fifth. That's your top five as it sits. Steve, want to talk about it real quick? Ken Adams, Q, Oils and NFTs 200. That is the race presented. Hey, title sponsor of today's race is Q, Oils and NFTs. Ken is an awesome artist making personally inspired and commissioned oil painting of whatever you like. He is also well connected in research and NFTs technology with a passion for educating others interested in learning more about the blockchain ecosystem. Go check them out. They got a lot of work on Twitter. They're huge on social media. That's what it's all about. Title sponsor today here at Michigan. So cool to see him on board. A lot of cool sponsors throughout the season.
Yeah, huge shout out to Q, Oils and NFTs, man. Awesome guy, awesome company, awesome endeavors for sure. So definitely go check them out. We're going to talk about them more and more throughout the broadcast, obviously sponsoring today's race. So big effort for them. Really appreciate the support here at Race Day Live and also for ASRA Cup Series. So a lot more coming in the future with them. I've got a feeling. Just a great bunch of guys over there, and they know what they're doing. So go check them out. Right now, though, DJ Honeycutt on top of the board. Frankie Barroso getting there. Daryl Young, though. Man, look at this car, Emery. It's a shout out to all kinds of old school 80s just rock bands and whatnot. I think he might have lost a bet there, but looks pretty good. Love to see that.
We'll get some closer looks at that car. There's a lot of detail involved. I will just say this before we get too close and look up to that or look into that car. There's a lot of hair on it. So if you like rock and roll, check out that car because I think you'll see a lot of the artists that you may see in the past. They are some old school ones too. No new school. That's old school rock right there, Steve.
Yes, sir. And right now, at the last second, Frankie Barroso actually sneaks in to win the pole. So he will be your pole sitter today. That's one more playoff point. Keep in mind, playoff points still accrue as we continue on through these playoffs. So that is right there is massive for him in his championship bid. So an awesome run right there. Once these cars grid, we're going to get right to the board. And man, we're going to get this race underway. Cannot wait.
Absolutely. Thanks for everybody tuning in at Race Day Live. Appreciate you being here. We got some big time viewership early on in this race. Love to see that. All of our titled sponsors throughout the year, everyone involved. Thank you so much. This is the start of the playoffs. And hey, Michigan provides international speed. When we talked about it's going to be a fast track. And Frankie, that 48, Barroso, got the pole. Shocker. I knew he would be kind of settling back, and then when playoffs start, he's going to start battling and start getting going, and he's showing it right now. He wants to be out front.
Yes, sir. Looking pretty good. So he's on the pole right now, not currently on the track, so we can't go to his car, but he's on the pole right now. DJ Honeycutt in P2, very strong performance there for him. Looking good today as usual. Devin Smirker, there's that machine right there, that Ken Adams Q, Oils and NFTs looking car. Tell you what, watch out for him. He's strong right now, and he's looking for his first win of the season. I would not be surprised if that came out today. So watch out for him there. Jackson Anderson rolls off P4, a career best for him. Looking very strong today. Anderson right there. Mealy P5, rolling off, looking pretty good. Daryl Young, there's that rock and roll car. Man, Motley Crue in the hood. Can't get any better than that. Look at that. P6, Donnie Honeycutt rolling off P7. Roger Pierce, that lime green looking machine. Love that. P8, Brandon Bowie. Rocking a brand new paint scheme, season 3 winner, or champion, excuse me. So looking good right there. Tyler Honeycutt rolling off P10, another lime green car. Man, these guys just know how to make those banners pop, man. Awesome stuff right there. Matt Smith, P11, Jamie Graham, 12th place. Kenny Real rolling off 13th place right here. Marshall Harris, 14th place. Matthew Fleming, 15th. Michael Lamphere rolling off 16th place. Julio Villalobos, good to see him back right here, rolling off 17th. Nick Simpson, the People's Champion right there, rolling off 18th. Scott Gasorn, 19th. Nick Lights rolling off 20th. Richard Woodruff, 21st place. James Kaufman, 22nd. Brandon Six, big shocker right here, 23rd place. Doesn't seem like he has the kind of speed he wants to in practice. Didn't look too promising, so we'll see how this works out for him later on. Josh Larson rolling off 24th place. Rob Assong rounding up the field in that 25th place right there in the number 8 car. Looking good, Emery. That's your field.
That is your field, and that's a very strong field. A shocker to see Brandon 6 in the back there, but guess what? I think he might be on a different strategy than everybody else. This track, Michigan, can kind of be a little dicey the first couple laps, so maybe that's what he's trying to do, start in the back and make his way through the field. Time will tell on that. Pace car is going to get off here shortly, and we're going to go racing. Man, oh man, playoffs are here. Last week we had the All-Star race, which was fantastic. Good to see all these drivers go out and have a lot of fun, but tonight, like I said, the gloves are off and we are going to be racing. This is where it all counts. These guys, these drivers, all season long, been battling to try to get to this point, and we are here. The pace car's off and we're going to go green flag at Michigan as the go a little bit farther here. This restart, we got a green flag here at Michigan. Frankie in that 48 got the pole. He's going to take us into turns 1 and 2. Devin in the 26 up front on the outside.
Big start right now, Emery. This is just going to be intense. 3 or 4 wide. We'll see it all race long.
We might even see some 3 wide. This track's big enough to make it happen. Frankie still up front. DJ Honeycutt is now in second. Devin's in third. Lap 1 is in the books. Frankie still up front.
Solid job right now. Emery, keep in mind, stage 1 ends at lap 20, so it's pretty quick. These cars right now only have 50% fuel in these cars. That's the format for this league. So right now, they're going to get to about 20 laps pretty easily. Stage 2, they'll start to worry about fuel. Right now, it's an all-out sprint.
20 laps, not a whole lot at Michigan. This track is fast. I think you'll see Frankie pulling away far as you can see. Number 3 right there. He's right in the mix. Battle, that's Tyler Honeycutt. He's in the mix with Brandon Bowie and Jamie Graham. Marshall Harris right behind. He's in 12th.
I'll tell you what, Emery, if I didn't know any better, this just has that Daytona feel to it. 2x2, all the way back now, multiple lanes, and we're just seeing cars just focusing on the car in front of them, drafting each other. This is getting pretty intense already. Lap 4.
4 laps in the books. You're right, a little bit of side-by-side action, a lot of traffic up front. The top 10 drivers are here in the pack. Frankie's diving low, trying to break that draft. Just can't do it. Now we might be looking at a 3 wide action up front here.
Man, look at this. Daryl Young on the outside right here. Looking pretty good. Daryl Young is a really, really good driver here at Michigan. So we'll see him definitely at the front. His teammate Roger Pierce right behind him, working together a little bit.
On a track like this, it's not a super speedway, it's not a Daytona Talladega, but it kind of acts like that, so the draft does matter. If you've got some teammates behind you, it helps a ton. So those guys, Roger and Daryl, working together, they know how to do it. I'll tell you what, they are dangerous on a track like this. That draft is underestimated. You're gonna need that help as this race goes on. As you can see the tower, the majority of the playoff guys all up front. Fleming might be the guy down below that's just not there. But man, oh man. Single file now, Steve.
So far, though, pretty impressed at the ability for these guys to hold on to 2 and 3 wide pretty consistently. This isn't an easy, 2 and 3 wide like Daytona or Talladega where you're just in the gas the entire time. This takes some off throttle time a little bit. And then those tires will wear out more and more. We're seeing DJ Honeycutt there in the middle looking pretty shaky.
Yeah, I think the goal here, I think you really want to stay on that inside. You were talking about it. Outside can really burn them up, but it seems like it's the lane that the drivers want to take right now. Single file up top as we see it. 3 wide in the back, and now they're kind of breaking away. A lot of movement, but we're still green. 7 laps in the books here at Michigan.
Emery, I don't know what I expected for this first round of the playoffs at Michigan, but man, this is just tough racing. They're starting to kind of single file out now. I expected this to happen way sooner, but man, this is just an indication of how these playoffs will go. Marshall Harris gets into the back of DJ Honeycutt. Hold on. Wow, what a save by DJ Honeycutt. Got side by side right there with Marshall Harris. Marshall, I think, pushed up to him, but DJ has to make an incredible save to make this happen. And he does. Great job there for Honeycutt.
What a save by him. The field is still good. 8 to go. I think I kind of hear over the radios, he kind of apologized, gave him a little bump, but all is clear. Single file up front. Frankie's still there, 48. He is strong as can be. He's got some clean air, and he's liking it. Daryl Young is now pushing Frankie up front. 9 laps to go. Or 9 laps down, I apologize.
Yeah, Daryl Young's not going to waste any time. He wants to get this stage win. He wants that extra playoff point. This is a track that Daryl Young knows he can win at and advance himself into that round of 8. So watch out for him today as this race goes. He's getting there. He's pushing his teammate along with him, Roger Pierce. Man, Anderson just squeezed up right there in front of Jamie Graham, but made it work. That's the move you have to make. But Anderson right now, really impressive, Emery. Currently in P6, started 4th. Oh, big wreck. Smirker. Tyler Honeycutt involved. Oh, no, and DJ as well.
Car getting sideways. Big time names are involved. Let's see how much damage. Looks like the 26, I think's right there. He's back on the track. I believe that's him, Devin.
Yeah, has some right side damage. It's not killer, but it's a lot. It's enough to definitely be concerned.
Oh man, Devin in that Ford's got some early damage right now. Hopefully he can get that fixed. We're only 11 laps in. We got to go to the 20 mark. That brings out our first caution. We will take another look on the replay and see what happened. Unfortunate circumstances right now. That's a big hit. Multiple cars involved. Man. Ooh.
Yeah, tough break right there. Devin was going around and DJ was just, unfortunately, collateral damage. We'll go back a little further and see if we can really figure out what happened here.
And here's what happens with a track like this. The speeds that they're at when you get some contact and cars are involved, it can destroy your car and you're done for the day. But we're 3 wide.
Here we go.
It's like it came up a little bit and contact everywhere.
Yeah, Tyler just comes up there. Devin tries to get off of him right there, and DJ actually makes a pretty good spin right there, we saw. So DJ actually might not be in too bad of a shape, but yeah, Smirka right there and Tyler definitely have some damage that they have to address. That is not going to be a good, seeing some right side damage there for Devin, so. Definitely not what Devin and Tyler wanted. Again, playoff drivers right here. This is huge. I mean, Tyler makes a mistake, obviously. 2 or 3 wide at this track is pretty pretty normal. But unfortunately for Tyler, comes up across the nose of Smirker, and that's just sometimes how it goes. That's racing. But hey, a long race to go still.
Yeah, hopefully Devin can come back out there. One of the drivers that's put so much time this season. One of the rookies here for the ASRA season. And man, I would hate to have him be left out the rest of this race, but I think he can get that damage fixed, get out back on the track, and hopefully he can advance that round of 8. But 2's car is out, Steve. They're going to pick their top line, bottom line. Frankie's still up front in that 48, still leading the way. I think he's led every single lap. Roger Pierce, he's in second. Daryl Young's in third, Matt Smith's in fourth, and Marshall Harris up there in that 21, that Toyota. He's in fifth.
Yeah, not too bad right now. DJ Honeycutt, again, he got around there. I don't see a lot of damage on his car, which is really pretty nice. So I believe he hit him in the right rear, but we don't see any damage there. So try and get one more shot. Little scrapes right there, but really not too bad. So I think he's going to be okay. But yeah, unfortunately, lap 11 now on lap 12. That's a big implications right now for playoffs early on. But again, this is just, Devin, right? He's had a pretty good season, has some playoff points. So, right now this race might be mediocre, but next week at Dover, it could all change around for him. So that's the thing. These playoffs can be pretty wild. Anything can happen in 5 races.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, coming from the Xfinity car, I got a lot of time in that car. It can't take much damage. You get in a wreck like that, your day's done. But these Cup cars, man, they can take a beating and get it fixed and come back out there and still be fast. So hopefully that is the case for these drivers in playoff contention, as we're only on the first week of playoffs of round of 12. Next week, round of 8, like you said, Dover. That's going to be an interesting track. That's one of my favorite tracks of the series. Dover is a lot of fun. It's fast. It's kind of got that short track vibe, but it's also very quick. Man, I can't wait for next week too. So what's going to happen here today, Steve? What do you think now? 13 laps in. We got to go to the 20 mark. Frankie in that 48, I think he wants to just stay out front in that Chevy, try to get a point on the boards and advance.
I think that's the case, right? I mean, again, he already has the pole, so that's one more playoff point. If he wins this first stage, that's another playoff point. So these are things that can advance the driver into the next round. If it comes down to 1 or 2 point difference, that 1 or 2 points might be huge. So Roger Pierce, Daryl Young, the same, right behind him. Matt Smith, even in the playoffs, has no playoff points, and here he is able to fight for stage 1. So we'll see. Coming to green.
Yeah, pace car's off. Matt Smith in that Chevy, he's up 7 spots, starting 4th now. Frankie still up front. He's going to get the green flag. And we are back racing. Frankie and Roger Pierce now side by side, going to take us into turns 1 and 2. His teammate, Daryl Young Jr., 18. That number 18, he's in 3rd, going to push him.
Yellow flag out already. Nick Simpson, unfortunately, involved in a wreck, and James Kaufman as well in the very back of the pack. Don't see a whole lot of damage here on either car, so that's the good news about it. Let's take a look closer. Nick Simpson on the front of the car. Okay, it looks pretty good. Not too bad. James Kaufman as well, I believe. Some minor right front damage, but overall not terrible. That caution came out on lap 14, so I believe that will not be the stage end, as it was not within that 5 laps. So, man, we're starting to get a little antsy, Emery, trying to get to that stage end.
Absolutely, that's going to happen in playoffs. Guys aren't going to give and take as much as they did during the regular season, and you can see it now. Restarts are always tough. Seeing a couple of those guys involved. Nick Simpson, one of those drivers from last week at the All-Star race, he got voted in from the fans. Love to see that. He got in there and had some fun. But we are live here now at Michigan, and 15 laps ends our second caution. We'll get them re-racked, and we'll go back green flag racing. Not too much damage, Steve.
No.
A little sideways. I think they're going to be okay.
It just looks like they come together. They kind of door each other a little bit of neck code, it seemed like. And then James just, couldn't get off of him and just turns right over the nose of him. So it was pretty well slow for the most part. But yeah, I don't see any major damage on these cars. I think they're going to be pretty well good for the remainder of this race.
Yeah, DJ Honeycutt, that number 15, that Toyota, he was down 14 spots. Kind of struggling out the gate. We got other guys like Nick Lights up 11 spots. He's in 9th. He's in that top 10 position. Marshall Harris, he's up 8 spots. He's in that Toyota. He's in the 6th position. So a lot of movement here at Michigan early on. We talked about it. As we're looking at Simpson right there in the pits, fixing that car, going to get back out there.
Yeah, I hardly see any damage there on that car. So I think he's going to be pretty good there. James Kaufman as well. We'll go look at him. Here he is. Yeah, I mean, yeah, some right front damage. Overall, I mean, fixable for sure. That'll pop right out, actually, according to how iRacing likes to do it. But yeah, so that shouldn't be too bad. A couple more cautions stage end. You can use that time to fix that damage. Shouldn't be too bad.
Well, after this stage is done, we're going to hit the 20 mark first. Second stage is going to be at 50 laps, Steve. So what's the strategy here with a lot of cautions early on in this first stage? It kind of changes the game for some of these drivers. If they were trying to hold back and maybe save some tires, save some fuel, whatever that may look like, I think that's kind of out the window. A lot of things are changing early on in this race.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about it is that, I mean, fuel-wise, it's not going to obviously be a big deal right now. I mean, stage one at the conclusion, we definitely expect these guys to come down, take the 4 tires and fuel. But stage 2 is a bit longer. So I think if we see this in stage 2, that'll benefit these guys a little bit because, you know, obviously you save fuel under yellow. So we'll see how that works. If stage 2 goes green, we'll definitely see some fuel mileage play into it. You know, probably these guys have to stop, if not fuel just once, or a quick top off. So we'll see how that goes. But right now they're going to come down to that choose car and make some decisions here.
Absolutely. While we're waiting here, Daryl Young Jr., that 18. If we take another look at that car, if you get a close look, man, it's a lot of stuff going on with that thing. Look at all that hair on that car. Unbelievable.
Looking good as usual.
That is called the Rock. I'm going to call that the Rock Band car for this evening. Daryl Young in that 18. I don't know if he lost a bet or not, but that's what he's rocking with tonight. Choose car is in place. They're going to go top or bottom. A lot of drivers picking that top lane. Frankie in that 48 chooses.
Yeah, I mean, this is big, especially at a place like this, Emery. I mean, you can really make any lane work. But, I mean, the high line, maybe later on in the race, if there's older tires, could definitely play a big role into what we see, you know, how this race ends up as far as, you know, choosing that right line. I mean, you want to be with your teammates, too, and draft the right people. So it all comes down to where you are and when you are. Right now, real quick, Emery, let's go ahead and actually thank our channel sponsors real fast. We have one more lap to go until we're green anyway. So let's take this time and go and thank them. We'll come right back.
I'll bring us back. And we are back here in Michigan for the Ken Adams Q Oils and NFTs 200 as we are just finished up with our last caution here. We're going to go back green flag racing. One thing I want to point out, Steve, is you were talking about teammates. Roger Pierce, Daryl Young up front still in that second and third spot. Watch out for them working together. Frankie's still up front, but he's by himself. He's got Joseph Mealy, Matt Smith, and Nick Lights. That's all your top 5. We only have 2 laps to go until this first stage ends, and then we will throw that caution and get back to racing. But who is going to win this first stage, Steve?
It's going to be tough. I mean, right now, this is basically a little green and white checkered flag finish for the stage. So we're going to go green right now on lap 19, excuse me. It's basically a 1-lap shootout to get to that 20 mark. So who's going to get it? This is going to be interesting right here. 1 lap.
Frankie in that. 1 lap to go. You're right. 1 lap. Frankie in that Chevy, that 48, is still up front and going to take us into turns 1 and 2. Roger Pierce is going to start on the inside as we are back green. 19 down. They got to go around one more time to the 20 mark, and that will throw our first stage.
Daryl Young diving down low. Can he get this stage win right here? Makes a huge pass right here. Down low. Comes Comes up high, though. Frankie might get him at the line. We'll see. Man, oh man, awesome job. So close, 1 lap to go. We got it wrong, my bad. Green, white, checkered finish. So this is that second lap, Emery.
Daryl Young's now up front. Frankie's trailing on the inside. I talked about it. Does his teammate push him to get this first stage win? Roger Pearson at 27 is going to push the 18 of Daryl Young. And it looks like Daryl Young in that 18, that rock machine, lots of hair on it's going to get the first stage win. Congratulations to him. That's a huge point on the board early on in this playoffs. Love to see that, Steve. First stage was quite a doozy. We are finished, and we're going to go in the pits, get some fuel, get some tires, and then we're going to start stage 2. What are your thoughts, Steve?
Yes, sir. I'll tell you what, this is a man on a mission. He's playing into that perfectly right here. Look at this motley crew on the details. Girls. I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss for words, but I'll tell you what, this one motivated driver right there, Daryl Young, rocking that paint scheme. I know he hates it, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you lose a bet. And right here, Daryl Young wins that stage 1. So we'll come back down and talk to him in just a second. Right now, we're going to come down to pit road. So we definitely want to capture that and see what these drivers do. And then we'll go and talk to them. So, man, that was a pretty interesting run. Basically a green, white, checkered for that stage. And, man, just awesome so far. Awesome racing.
Yeah, great teamwork there by Young and Pierce, and Frankie dropped all the way to 4th. Just couldn't finish it off there, but he's going to be strong. We know he's fast out here in Michigan. We'll see him back up front. They're going to go into the pits, get some tires and some fuel. This is where the strategy comes into play. Stage 1's in the books. We're going to come back out here. We got to go all the way to the 50 mark, and that will be the end of stage 2. Now, if I was guessing, Steve, I think everybody's going to take 4 tires. I could be wrong, but I think that's the best bet this early in the race.
Oh, for sure. 4 tires right now, especially after that hard racing. And, yeah, we'll definitely see a lot of these guys coming down pit road and getting those 4 tires. Man, right here, side by side, tight stuff. But, yeah, I mean, we said it earlier. I mean, Daryl Young, keep in mind, he's the hardest driver on the track right now. He won Talladega to get, not necessarily to get into the playoffs, but it definitely helped him to get those bonus points. So, right now, he's looking very, very good. We'll go and talk to him real quick if we can. Let's try and sneak him in here. Where's old Daryl Young? Here he is. Hey, Daryl, it's Steve in the booth, man. You got me?
I gotcha.
Hey, man, we know that paint scheme is, it's controversial, I guess, in your world. But, hey, right now, stage 1 on basically a green, white, checkered finish. So what are your thoughts on how the race is going? And stage 1 winner. So great job, man.
Well, thank you. Let's back up for a second. I don't know what you're talking about controversial. This car is amazing. Metallica sucks. Glam rock for the win. Motley Crue's the best band in the world. So, yeah, stage 1. Yeah, I'm happy to get the stage win. It was fun running up there with Frankie. I had my teammate behind me, and I had to go for that move right there. So it worked out, and now it's time for stage 2.
Love to hear that, man. I guess we've been wrong this whole time. So congrats again. Yeah. Going to try and get that stage win, or that race win, excuse me. So, hey, hope to see you at the end of this thing, man, and good luck.
Hey, Sounds Steve, good. real quick. Daryl, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I got to say one thing. That car rocks.
It does, yeah. Well, because Metallica sucks and everybody else rocks. So,
clearly.
Yeah.
All right, well, good luck to you, man. Have fun out there.
Thanks, man. Poison's the best. See ya.
Oh, man. That is awesome. That's Daryl in that 18. He's running that Rockstar themed car tonight. He
looking
he
good.
Has some, yeah, a lot of words there, but he is looking good.
So a backstory, folks, real quick, since we're under yellow, him and Marshall Harris, who's also here in the 21 car, they both had a bet basically during the football game, I believe on Monday or Sunday night. It was the Broncos against the Minnesota Vikings, both of their teammates, and whoever lost basically got to make a paint scheme for the other driver. And right now, Daryl's a big Metallica fan, and likes to make fun of other bands that are maybe of the 80s. And right here, he's rocking that paint scheme. So great job for Marshall right there, winning that bet. And right now, we got a race to go back to lap 24. Here we go, going back green. Brandon Bowie up front, not pitting.
Brandon Bowie up front, not pitting. We're going to go green flag. He will take us into turns 1 and 2. DJ Honeycutt, he's in that 15. He's up there, both Toyota cars. Green flag at Michigan.
Yeah, Brandon Bowie was smart. Same thing with Scott Casorn. That last caution before that green and white checkered finish for the stage, they came down and pit, so that was free and clear for them. Some great strategy involved. They got that for free right there. Didn't get any points, obviously, for stage 1, but set themselves up to get in the front right here.
Yeah, watch out for that 54 in that Toyota. Brandon Bowie, he's up 8 spots to take the lead. I think if he's up front, he's going to be feeling the most comfortable he's felt all day long. Watch out with him for clean air because he's going to hit his marks single file all the way back to about 15th spot.
Hey, one guy I'm watching out for is that 26 machine. Look at that. That Q Oil and NFT machine looking really, really good, man. Had some damage earlier from the stage 1 incident, but looking very solid now as we see Tyler Honeycutt bouncing off the wall. Devin Smirker, man, came out to play, fixed that car up, and now he's back.
Yeah, very fortunate for him to stay out here. He's one of those fast drivers, been up front all season long, and he's still in the mix. He's only down 2 spots from when he started. He's in 5th.
Big wreck back here. Michael Lanphier, I believe, involved. Yellow flag is out for the 3rd time. 3rd time for caution. Yeah, Michael Lanphier has some right side damage, I want to say. I believe it was him. We'll look back at it. Yeah, tough break for him. We saw him spin around in that last shot, and then it was over. So I wonder if he spun out and just kept it going, but we will go back to the race day replay and take a look.
Yeah, Michael Lanphier in that Ford, that 13, he's already entering the pits, going to get some stuff fixed. I'm going to take another look at this replay to see what happened.
Oh, just squeezes up against Josh Larson. Yeah, keeps it going. So good job for those two, but we've seen this happen basically 3 times now, Emery, where guys just don't think they're cleared maybe, or they just come left to right across another driver's nose. So definitely interesting for sure. We'll try and get a different angle here.
And with some fresh tires like that, it shouldn't be an issue where you're coming up the track. It's just maybe a spotting issue, and they're just not thinking it's clear. As we're on board right now, we'll take another look at it.
Yeah, this is onboard Larson right here. We'll see Lanphier maybe come right. Yeah, Lanphier just kind of closes the gap, and I mean, really, Larson's got nowhere to go at that point. Lanphier just comes left to right, and that's it. Oh, Larson's car. Uh-oh, that right front tire looks pretty beat up. We didn't think he had a lot of damage, but man, that might be it.
Yeah, over the mic, I heard him talking about he doesn't have the steering, so he's probably going to make a couple laps to see if he can come out there and see how the car feels. If not, he may have to bring it back into the pits and try to get it fixed, and that might be the end of his day as well. Unfortunate circumstances there. He's had the most damage out of all these drivers in these cautions. Multiple cars in the pits trying to get some stuff fixed.
Yeah, that's big for Larson. He came into the playoffs with a stage win in a playoff point, but definitely not what he wanted to see right there. But man, that's a tough break. He might be able to get that fixed, but it will definitely take some time in the pits to get that done. So if he goes a lap down, no, it's not too bad. I mean, you got that second stage coming up where he can get that lucky dog back, but still, that's a tough break for him. We'll see where that ends up for him.
Yeah, Matt Fleming, who was involved, he had to circle back around. He's going to go back into the pits to try to get some more work done to that car. Josh Larson, Michael Lanphier, both involved there. Man, oh man. 28 laps in the books. We've got to go all the way to the 50 mark. It's been a good race so far here in the playoffs. Only 8 advanced, Steve. This is the round of 12. Next week, it will be at Dover for the round of 8. So a couple of these guys will have the end of their season for the playoff run. But we still got some green flag racing right now at Michigan. Frankie Barroso now front in that 48. Brandon Bowie's in second in that Toyota. Kenny Reel jumped all the way up here. He's in third. He's up 10 spots. Brandon 6. He started from the back. He's up 19 positions. He's in fourth. And we got Marshall Harris, been consistent all day long in that Toyota, that number 21. He's in fifth. That's your top 5 as it sits. Pace car's still out. But we're about to go back racing.
Yes, sir. And keep in mind, these 12 playoff drivers, I mean, today's not the cutoff race. Next week at Dover is. So if they have a bad race today, they can definitely make up for it next week. We'll see how that goes. But also keep in mind, too, so this league, the ASRA, they have a second concurrent playoff system as well, the contender drivers, the contender playoff. So basically, it's the 8 drivers outside of the top 12, so 13th on through 20th. And those drivers basically run for kind of the same thing. It's basically their best of the best championship. The league has done it for the past couple of seasons. It's been pretty successful. It lets these guys run for something else besides, a championship playoff. And it's very, very cool. These guys have some interest level and basically acts as like a March Madness. So at the end of Dover, the 4 drivers who are taken out of the championship 4, the bottom 2 of those 4 are eliminated completely. And the top 2 actually move down into the contender bracket for the top 8 round of the contender playoff. So a little bit confusing, I guess, when you talk about it, but on paper, it's very, very cool. And these guys are very excited for it. So right now we're going back green. We'll talk a lot more about that later. But here we go. Back green, Emery.
Yes, thank you for the clarification. We are going to go back green. Brandon Bowie's still up front now. That 54. Frankie there as well. 2 teammates, 1 and 2. Brandon 6 in the mix. 3 teammates out front.
Yeah, Brandon 6 wasted no time getting to the front of the pack. I think he's trying to feel it out. Wants to get out of these out of the way of the drivers. It can get pretty hectic.
Kind of talked about that strategy early on with Brandon 6 starting all the way in the back, but now he's worked his way through the field. He's finding his teammates up there. Nick Lights, haven't talked about him too much today. He's in that Chevy. He's up 11 spots. He's in the top 10 now. He's in 9th. Just made a pass through Matt Fleming. He's in 8th position.
Yeah, looking really, really good today, too. Keep in mind, he won Pocono back in the season. He initially started off as a sub. Ooh, Marshall Harris gets into Smirka right there. It's the second time we've seen, Marshall Harris getting into somebody and dooring him. Got to be careful there. A lot of awareness issues. This is the trouble, Emery, about this track or tracks like this, is that there's cars all around you all the time. Outside, left, right. It's very hard to know where the cars are at all times, and that causes those issues.
Absolutely. The track's kind of conceiving. It looks a little wider than it is, but man, you're right. You're next to drivers and cars all the time. 3 wide, 2 wide. Just right in that bunch, kind of like a super speedway.
Back up front, Roger Pierce. Nick Light's trying that side draft right there against Roger Pierce, but can't quite get it done. And right there, Devin Smirker looking pretty good. Man, already back to the front. And P7 getting passed a little bit here, but right in that pack still. Mealy making a move on the inside. Looking very strong here, Emery. Coming back a little bit.
Yeah, that damage might be coming into play just a little bit. Matt Fleming got a pass on him on the inside in that 88. He's working in that Chevy up 8 spots. He's now in 7th position. Somehow, some way, Nick Lights has jumped all the way up to the front. He's in top 5. He's up 15 positions. Watch out for him. He's in that Chevy doing a really good job. All the top 5 drivers are rocking the Chevys. Brandon Bowie is the only Toyota up front. 34 laps in here at Michigan.
We're 3 wide back here. Daryl Young, your stage 1 winner, finds himself very low right here. He has lost a couple spots right here from the restart. Not having enough momentum here and speed. And Matt Smith, the meat and the sandwich there between Jamie Graham. Daryl just kind of holding back maybe a little bit, holding on to the fuel potentially. I don't know. What do you make of this, Emery?
Yeah, I think he's just being conservative right now. He won that first stage. He's just kind of chilling. He's holding out in the back. He's down 12 spots. He's in 18th. I don't think there's an issue with that car. I just think he's working his way, just trying to figure it out, letting the race come to him. But it is interesting to see him drop out back that far. We've only got a few more till this end of this stage at the 50 mark.
Quick update, we'll see Josh Larson's still on track right now in the pit road. So he's not leaving yet, but he is still working on that car. So deciding to use up all that time to fix it. Brandon Bowie, though, still out front, leading this pack.
Man, we talked about it. Brandon Bowie in that Toyota up front. He's just so consistent. If he hits his marks, he's going to be one of a really hard driver to track down to try to beat, especially with some work with Frankie, his teammate, pushing him right behind. But look at that. Nick Lights on the bumper of Frankie. He says, I can push 2. Now 6 is going to drop on the inside alongside with the 27 of Roger Pierce. He was working with Daryl Young before, but now he's all alone, mixed up with the Bowie boys.
Yeah, this is what makes this track, Emery, just such a wild card race. It's kind of a perfect race to start the playoffs because you don't really know who can win, right? It's very, very deceiving, kind of like a Pocono in a way where draft is so huge and you have to have friends, right? You have to have people to push you and kind of lead you into that racing groove. And right now we're seeing that with Bowie Esports.
Yeah, we'll see that till the end of this race, and hopefully Roger Pierce can get some help up there. Nick Lights might even help. Marshall Harris, he's kind of on an island but been so consistent. One of the drivers that just came out here and says, hey, I'm going to run with the big boys in this top 5, top 10 mix. And he's been doing it all day. Kenny Reel now in that Chevy. He's in that 7th position. He's in that 11 Jordan car. He's in the mix right ahead of Devin.
Yeah, Kenny, I'll tell you what, Emery, Kenny Reel and both Marshall Harris as well, both looking very strong today. Right now, currently in P6 and 7, these two guys have a lot to prove. I mean, Marshall Harris obviously not in the playoffs. Same thing with Kenny Reel. These guys are going for that Contender Series championship. And right now, man, they're just making it look easy.
Yeah, pressure might be off a little bit for them, and they're just letting the car do its thing. We got some contact here. Is that Brandon 6?
Yeah, Brandon 6. Roger Pierce got together right there, adored each other a little bit. Net code right now today seems pretty high, so these guys have to be careful of that. Just seems like that kind of comes in high sometimes on these beautiful iRacing servers. But Brandon 6 makes a great comeback, great save right there. Back onto the track.
Yeah, glad we can see him back on the track. Netcode does happen sometimes, just part of the game. Part of the racing here on iRacing. This is a simulation, but man, they're taking it serious as Brandon 6 on the inside trying to make a pass again. Pretty wild to see him go off all the way off the track, Steve, and then come back on, keep it clean, and only lose a couple spots. He's still up there in the top 5.
Yes, sir. Looking pretty good right now. We're seeing Devin Smirker as well, trying that middle lane. We're not seeing a lot of guys trying the outside lane like you would see at a similar track like Auto Club, but right now, that middle to low line seems to be pretty good. But when they need to use that outside line, it's working as well.
Yeah, I think later in the race, that outside lane may progress. But you're right, that middle to kind of the outside coming out of the corners really working for everyone. Now it's almost the whole field is about single file. 8 cars up front, 41 laps in. We've only got 9 more to go until the end of this stage. Can Brandon Bowie stay out front and get a point on the board? Frankie, his teammates right behind him, trying to make that happen.
We just saw a similar situation a second ago, Emery. Right there, Jamie Graham, Daryl Young got together down the backstretch. It just seems like when these drivers get too close to each other, I mean, it's like they just suck together like the doors, and they can't really, get off each other. So that's the tough part right now. Got to be wary of that. So far, so good. Quick update for the back of the field. Nick Simpson right now holding on to P23rd. Car looking pretty good, so maybe just waiting for that stage to come out. Get those fresh tires and whatnot. Michael Lanphier had issues in the back of the field as well, in a caution involving Josh Larson. So still on track, looking pretty strong. And then Julio Villalobos as well. These guys are in the back. I'll tell you what, Anderson as well. They're not slow, Emery. I just think they're kind of biding their time. They see all those drivers in the front of the field bunched together. One wreck can take out all those guys. And this right here could be what it takes to hold on to it.
Now you're right. 17 all the way down to 20th. You got James Kaufman, Robert Hassong, Jackson Anderson, Julio. Even Nick Simpson, man, all those drivers in the back, I think, are you right? Just being consistent, letting the race come to play, and looking out for the big one. But after this stage, they're going to have to make a move if they want to try to get a top 5 or even a finish here. Robert Hassong started in the back. He's up 10 spots, 6 spots actually. So he's trying to make a move through the field.
And then, like, right here, DJ Honeycutt, we know he's not slow at all. I mean, he qualified second place, so we know he's got what it takes. It's just tough to get. Oh, Tyler Honeycutt goes around right here. Yellow flag in the air. I believe that was across the nose of Jamie Graham. Tyler spins out. I don't see any. Some right rear damage a little bit on that 3 machine. Although I think very minimal.
Yeah, I don't think he's got too much. He spun all the way on the inside, almost got to the grass, but I think it was just a spin. I don't think he touched or hit anything. Looks like he's good to go. He's back on the track. No harm, no foul there, but man, that was a wild ride for that 3. He's spinning all the way inside. Good save to avoid that wall, because that might have ended his day. It comes to a complete stop.
Man, weird right there. We'll go back once more. Try and figure that out, but oh, that's what it was. Jamie tried to do a side draft, but it was just too much. That black number 62 pulls out left to make that move around that 3 of Tyler Honeycutt, but just hits his left rear and sends him around. So that'll be on Jamie Graham right there, making that side draft. A little bit too aggressive on that part, but Tyler, luckily, to your point, looks in pretty decent shape.
Yeah, and with that caution out, 45 laps in the books. Is that going to be the stage? We've only got, 5 more to go? As we have some cars coming in to get some work done, get some maybe some fuel and tires real fast before the stage.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. I mean, Brandon Bowie trying the same thing. We saw him do it earlier. Nick Lights. We're seeing Smirker do it. Matt Smith. A bunch of drivers. This caution came out on lap 44, so it's not quite that 5-lap threshold to end the stage. So right now, this shouldn't be the stage end, or else we would have seen everybody come down. So this right here is definitely going to be interesting. We might see the same scenario, Emery, as we saw last time. Going to basically be a green-white checkered finish, essentially, to get to that stage end. Pretty wild so far in Michigan.
Yeah, a lot of different strategies for multiple drivers out here. It looks like some of these drivers are hanging with the teams, but Brandon Bowie, who was out all day long up front, now is in the pits, comes back out. He's got fresh tires. Frankie Barroso stays out in that 48. He's up front as it sits. Brandon Sixon's in second. Matthew Fleming, Kenny Real, Joseph Mealy, your top 5. So, man, it's hard to say what's going to happen at the end of this race with so many different things going on. Fuel strategy, tires, guys pitting early before the stage 2. We got a shootout now for stage 2. Who's going to get some points to advance, Steve? I love to see this. Playoffs is what it's all about, and I think it's really unfolding as this race goes on.
Yeah, and right now, just got confirmation from Race Control. So Brandon Davis actually in that choose car. We love that, man. Big fan favorite right there. And Brandon Davis also Race Control. So he did let me know that that is not going to be the stage end. So we're going to see something exactly what we saw in stage 1. Basically a little mini 2-lap shootout for the stage win. Essentially a green-white checkered finish. So definitely unique for sure. So far, we haven't really had that this season. And right now, this could be pretty entertaining to see who can win this second stage. Daryl Young, unfortunately, nowhere in sight. He is in P9, so not too bad. But a lot of these guys are going to try and see what they can do to get this win.
Frankie up there kind of saying hi to the pace car. Lights are off. We're going to go back green. Big shout out to Brandon Davis, by the way, Race Control. He manages all these drivers throughout the race. Got to make some tough decisions. Got to make some tough calls. We appreciate him being here for Season 5. A lot of people involved as well. All the production team. Love to see it. Season 5, regular season has been fantastic. The All-Star race was amazing. And this first race here for the playoffs has been good as well. As we go one more corner, we're going to go back green flag. Steve, take us away, man. We got Frankie up front, Matthew Fleming now in second, Brandon 6, Kenny Real, and Joseph Mealy, your top 5. This is going to be a shootout. Who's going to get the first or second stage win? Get some points on the board.
Yes, sir. Pace car going to take down that left. Going to pull down left. He's going to do something right there for sure, but Frankie Barroso going to lead the field here down to lap 48. We're going green, green in the air. Frankie Barroso, Matthew Fleming side by side. This is for stage 2, 2 laps to go.
This will be the shootout. Frankie got a little bit loose on that restart, that 48, but kept it together. No big checkups in the back.
Man, Mealy right down there low.
Side up front. Yes, absolutely.
He came close, but right here, Frankie kind of gave it away in stage 1, but what can he do now in stage 2? This time, Emery being pushed by his teammate, Brandon 6. Didn't have that last time.
Watch out for this 27 of Roger Pierce in the Chevy. He's in 4th. He's in good position to try to make a move. As Frankie and Brandon 6 try to work together, Roger Pierce might work with Matt Fleming to get this pass on the inside. We've only got one more to go, and this will be the end of stage 2. Frankie out front. Can he get a win? Brandon 6 right behind, but Frankie's way ahead.
These stage points, too, keep in mind, for the top 10, they matter so much for these guys in the back trying to end that streak, trying to get themselves into the next round. But right now, Frankie Barroso is going to win that stage 2. But a big wreck in the back, too. That'll be the caution. Frankie, though, crosses the line right at the same time. And Frankie Barroso will be your stage 2 winner. But, man, that's a tough, tough break right here.
Looks like Tyler Honeycutt and DJ Honeycutt involved in that late wreck. He don't have a front bumper.
Yeah, this is really bad news for Jackson Anderson. Again, contender playoff driver, trying to do what he can. This is not what he wanted. This might end his race. Don't see a blown engine, but that's a tough break right there. But even more, DJ Honeycutt. Oh, no.
Yeah, both of the Honeycutts looks like they were involved, I believe. We got damage to the front of that car and that one as well, the number 3. Man, oh man, hate to see that happen. We have to take another look and figure out just what happened there. Looks like they're calling the number 15 in that Toyota of DJ.
We'll take a look. Yeah, so DJ's in the middle right there. 4 wide. Oh, yeah, just comes left into Marshall Harris. Oh, and then takes his brother out, Tyler. Just a tough, tough break for those two family members. And then, yeah, just comes. I don't know if you try to get like a reverse side draft off of Marshall Harris to try and get that that finish there at the end of the stage, but man, that's a huge moment for them. So unfortunately, Emery, that's what it happens, right? I mean, stage ends, it all comes down to points and needing points, and sometimes desperation for those points just makes you do things that you wish you didn't do. But that right there is playoff racing.
Yeah, no, it really is, man. And I hate to see all those cars involved at the end of that stage. The yellow just came out, and there was big contact with multiple cars. A lot of carnage. 51 laps in the book, and that is going to be the end of the stages. We got to go all the way to the 100-lap mark. Love to see what's going on here, though, Steve. A lot of different things in motion. Brandon Bowie now up front. Devin in that 26, who got into some damage earlier, is now in second. Nick Lights, he's moved up 17 spots. He's in third in that number 12. Scott Kazorn, Matt Smith, top 5, as we're looking on these guys choosing inside or outside lane. Drivers seem like they've been liking that outside run.
And I'll tell you what, this move that Bowie did again right now, this is completely free. I mean, he knew a caution came out, and you know, these guys, caution comes out, they know there's going to be one more quick 2-lap sprint to get to that stage finish. This is free for them. Come down, take the 4 tires and fuel now. Same thing with Smirker. Did the same thing. Gasorn did the same thing. A couple more drop. Matt Smith as well. So these guys come down early. You know, that 2-lap little sprint, just hold on to the tires. Nothing to worry about. Don't burn them off. And then when everybody comes down pit road now, at the end of the stage 2, now you're on front. So Brandon Bowie, I think this is... I would watch these guys, Emery, the ones that made this move right here. They're not really losing a lot when it comes to tire wear. So Brandon Bowie, Smirker, Matt Smith, Scott Gasorn, I think these guys, I think they're doing it right.
Yeah, I think they figured out early on that it's not too bad to get through this field. You can start from the back and work your way through it pretty easy, as we're seeing it happen. Brandon Bowie started from the back. Brandon Six started from the back. Devin was back there as well. Guys like Daryl Young, can he make that happen? He was sitting in the back as he won first stage. So, man, crazy stuff right now. We talked about it. Got that super speedway feel, Talladega, Daytona, whatever you want to call it. The draft really helps, but some of these drivers early on are making the case that, hey, it don't matter if you're starting from the back. I can make my way up to the front. And guys like Brandon in that 54, watch out, because I feel like he feels really comfortable in that car here today. If he hits his marks out front, watch out. He's going to be a fast driver.
Yes, sir. Pace car makes that hard left. Going to come down pit road right now. Brandon Bowie going to lead us off to the field. Stage 3 is beginning right here. Little less than half the race to go. Brandon Bowie goes green. And we're back for the Q Oil and Filters NFTs, excuse me, 200.
Now, here's the thing, Steve. If this race goes green for a long time, watch out for Brandon Bowie, Nick Lights, Brandon Six, and Devin. That top 4, even Kenny Real in that top 5. Can they make these long runs happen? This is where you want to save some tires, because if it does, you'll be in a good spot. Are we going to see a green flag pit stop? Steve, I think we will. I think we might see that today.
Yes, sir, we will if this thing stays green. But one thing we will see for sure is a Bring the Noise segment sponsored by Harpoon Design. Let's get it. And right there, folks, we love to call the Bring the Noise segment. Big thanks to harpoondesign.com. Go check them out. They can do any paint scheme. Well, I shouldn't say any paint scheme, but any NASCAR paint scheme on the service. Right now, we're going to paint a yellow flag, not a paint scheme, a yellow flag on the track. Robert Hassong, Marshall Harris involved right here on lap 56, as well as Daryl Young, your stage 1 winner. Man, oh man, speaking of Harpoon Design, he's the one who made this number 18 car today. Was looking pretty good. Right now, I don't believe any damage on the car, so looking solid. Maybe some left side damage. Can't quite tell, but big moment there for Marshall Harris. Oh, his song has some huge front side damage. Bumper completely off. That is no bueno, as they say. Harris as well, I don't believe has any major damage, but we'll go back and take a look as we always do. Let us see. Oh, already involved, but Hassong, huge wreck on the inside wall. Daryl Young might have gotten the least of it. Harris as well had some issues, but man, oh man, we'll go back once more and get a better camera angle. Oh, so Marshall already up on the inside of Daryl Young. Hassong was more or less collateral damage there, but that's a tough break for him. And Daryl gets involved. This is a big one, Emery.
Yeah, man, it's something we've been seeing all day. This is a little more severe. We've seen some cars kind of out of line there. It comes all the way up the track, but yeah, once again, multiple cars, and that's such a big hit on that inside. Wow. Unfortunate here, 3 wide.
Riding aboard Marshall Harris. He comes left to, like, just up the track. Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That's a long ways up the track. Not sure if it was a spotter situation or not, but dang.
I mean, you can just look at that car, right? I mean, his wheel was not turning left. So I've got a feeling he might have been tight right there, and just instead of lifting, he just kind of committed to it. But yeah, man, tough break right there. Unfortunately, we'll maybe end the day for Robert Hassong. Daryl Young, I don't believe, is in huge trouble right there. Your stage 1 winner, but definitely involved as well. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But Brandon Davis right now back on track as our choose car, also our race control. And we're back choosing. So a lot going on, Emery, on lap 58.
Yeah, there really is. And not a whole lot of drivers in the playoffs contender. I mean, in the playoffs, excuse me. Josh Larson, I think, got the worst of it. His day is already done. He is in the playoffs, so he'll be back next week. But, man, these cautions have been very interesting, to say the least. We're seeing a lot more than we have during the regular season. I don't know if it's a situation where these guys are just kind of fighting for position or just not figuring out the track as much. But 58 laps in, we got a long ways to go. So anything can happen here at Michigan. We got to still go back, green flag. We got to go all the way to the 100 mark.
I'll tell you what, right now, Devin Smirker is in the exact same position as Q Oil and NFTs is. Right now in P1, looking good. Tell you what, they are the place to go when you need oil paintings. Man, NFTs, Ken is just where it's at. But Q wants to give a special shout out today for Cardano stake pool operator Bone Pool. Everything he has done connecting racing in Cardano over the past 2 years, and is grateful for this opportunity as well. I'll tell you what, man, we are so excited to have him on board for this race. And this car just looks so good. Devin's obviously bringing a lot of different sponsors to the track, right? Murphy Esports in general. So big shout out to Brian Murphy and Devin here. Just bringing Cardano, Hosky, I mean, Q right here. A lot of cool different sponsors and just new eyes onto the sport, but also as well as us in general, right? So really cool to have them in this space. We appreciate them for sure. But right now, Emery, lap 59, about to go on lap 60. So 40 laps to go here in this race. We still might see that green flag pit stop, but again, it's not necessarily, you know, all about that, right? It's all about getting that win, advancing yourself into that top 8 in 2 weeks. And we saw a couple drivers. I mean, Brandon Bowie comes down pit road, I believe, in P9. So he is finding himself back there. We'll see a lot of different things here, Marie, as we go back green.
Absolutely. Nick Lights now up front in that 12. He's been strong, kind of in the middle of the pack, but working his way to the top 5. He's worked his way all the way up to the front. Him and Devin are going to take us away. We're going to go back green flag racing here at Michigan. We are underway again. 60 laps in the books. We got to go all the way to the 100. Nick Lights and Devin going to take us into turns 1 and 2. Lights with a big jump. Brandon 6. Matt Smith and Kenny Reel all back there in the top 5, bunched up side by side as they go.
Watch out for this backpack, too. I know we don't always cover it, but man, 3 wide right here. Nick Simpson on the outside, making it work. Richard Woodruff as well, having a quiet night. But looking strong right here, trying to get back to the front.
Love to see these drivers in the back battling it out, man. Nicholas Simpson's up 4 spots. He's in 15th. Caution's back out. Big hit again.
Oh, no. I believe that might have been... Oh, who is that? We saw him wrecking right there in front of us as we were covering the back of the field.
Scott looks like he's involved.
Oh, Roger Pierce involved right here. I saw a lime green car. I'm like, you know what? It's either Tyler or Roger. And man, tough. Oh, what happened to Roger? Let's go back and look at what happened, man. Roger already into it. Looks like with Scott Casorn potentially.
Oh, Roger just missed.
Yeah.
Just got missed by a car up top. He was falling, but looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, he has some right rear damage there, but not too bad, I think, on the front, which I think is, you know, where you don't want to have it. Yeah, I don't see any damage really on the right front, on the right rear just yet. Well, okay, so right side damage for sure, but fixable, and that really shouldn't affect the car too much. Maybe won't be good at leading, but definitely can follow in a pack in a draft. So we'll go back a little further back, see if we can figure out what happened there. But man, that was definitely involving Roger Pierce, Scott Casorn. This is a bit early, but we'll take a look. Oh, Graham just
coming
again. Oh, and then gets into DJ again. DJ, I'll tell you what, is not happy. If I was him,
I'm not sure if it was the second yellow flag calls today, but it sounds like one driver is going to get an EOL and then have to go through the pits on a green flag race. So unfortunate, he may go a lap down. I'm not exactly sure which driver that is at this point.
Yeah, that most likely is going to be Jamie Graham. He's been having a rough day so far. Was involved in an earlier caution, basically the same thing. I believe, if my memory serves me right, had an issue where he got into a driver very similar to that. Tried to do a basically just a pass, right, and tried like a hard side draft, and unfortunately gets into him. So not a good day so far for him and his debut here for Murphy Esports. But man, tough break. Michigan playoff time. That happens.
It does happen. Jamie, one of the better drivers of the league, and he's been really consistent all season long. Cool to see him on board with the Murphy Esports team. I see them on Twitter. Go check them out. I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about a guy that knows how to promote a team, knows how to promote a sport, Murphy and that esports team does a great job.
Yes, sir. Absolutely a great job right there. And yeah, just to reiterate, love to have them as partners and a team in this series. Definitely valuable for sure. But right now we're seeing Nick Lights up front and Devin Smirker. We have plenty of time to go and thank our sponsors. So let's go do that real quick and we'll come back. All right, folks, we are back here on Race Day Live for the Q Oil and NFT 200. Right now, Devin Smirker out front, as well as Nick Lights. And we're going back green here on lap 65. So 35 laps to go here. We've had 6 cautions so far, so pretty hectic race. That pace car, though, either way, going to turn down left, go down pit road. And these drivers of the ASRA are going to go back green. Nick Lights leads us off. And the green flag back in the air, lap 65.
Great looking shots there as they go into 1 and 2. Nick Lights is still up front in that number 12. Kenny Reels in that top 5 too, trying to help out Matt Smith make a run. You go back farther, we got a little battle with Richard in that number 4 car. He's in 12th with James Kaufman.
Looking very good right there. Look at that though. Nick Simpson involved in an incident recently, but finds himself in the top 10. Right now making a Contender Series run. And currently in 9th place right now, looking very strong. Just get to that front of the pack, get in that draft, and you might be A-okay, and Nick Simpson finds himself in that spot. Same thing, Julio Villalobos as well. Didn't have the beginning race he wanted, but finds himself in the front of the field when he needs to be.
Yeah, this is the time to be in the front, or at least the top 10 if you want to try to make a move. 66 laps in. We got to go to the 100 mark. When they cross, we'll have 67 laps down. Matt Fleming, Julio, Nicholas Simpson, Daryl Young in that top 10. Can Daryl Young make a move? He was all the way up to the front, has fallen back, hasn't found his way back up to the front, but can he make it happen?
I think, yeah, I mean, biding his time, right? Holding on to it. He knows how to get around this track of Michigan. He's a favorite, obviously. He won stage 1, so he knows how to get it done. I think he wants to hook up with his teammate, Roger Pierce. But Pierce is behind him in 18th, so also involved in a wreck. Both of them have, so it's just a matter of getting back to the front and then holding on to that spot, I think, for these two.
Yeah, still a lot of time in this race. These drivers that are going to try to make their way up to the front still have to save their tires. Brandon Bowie, you're taking a look at it. He's going to make a move on the inside and get past Julio and Nicholas Simpson. Can he make it all the way up to Frankie Barroso in that 48, that Chevy? That's his teammate with Bowie Esports. If they can connect Frankie and Brandon, I think they'll find their way all the way up to the top 5. Matthew Fleming's in the mix, though. Watch out for that 88. He's been strong all day long here at Michigan.
Yes, sir. A couple guys to talk about, though, we haven't talked about so much, is Donnie Honeycutt right here. Looking very, very good. Came in as the number one position to contender driver. So looking very, very good. Starts off with the most bonus points in that category. And right now holding on to it. 14th place right now. Haven't talked much about him, but he's been pretty quiet. He'll be definitely at the end of this thing at the front. He's one of those guys that you ask yourself, man, where'd he come from? And right now he's making that charge. Ooh, Woodruff. Hold on to it. Took an early braking zone right there and almost got into him.
Yeah, lucky to get away from that one, because those are the wrecks we've been seeing, this side drafting action. I don't know if it's net code or guys just can't see what's going on in the outside, the spotting situation, but it's caused some major issues. But we're green flag. That was a good save by him.
Hey, right now, too, Matt Smith in that number 29, our Season 1 champion, and has stuck around this entire time. Looking very solid in that Crash Clinic 29. Looking solid, man. Right now, at top 5. He has had some pretty bad luck this season. Just hasn't been able to find it. But right here, he is making it happen. Very impressive here. But a battle for the lead. Brandon 6 back to the front.
Brandon 6 in that 66. Going to go on the inside to get past Nick Lights in that 12. But look at this. Brandon Bowie has made his way all the way to the front, too. Can he get behind 6, and can they work together? Nick Lights now trying to make another pass by Brandon 6. Can he make it happen? Side by side, some contact.
Oh.
3 wide is Brandon Bowie. On the inside, can he make it past everybody? Man, oh man, lead changes up front, 71 laps. Lot to go, only a few more, but they are battling out at the end of this race here at Michigan. Love to see that. Still got a long ways to go, Steve.
Yeah, keep in mind, Brandon 6 entered this playoffs with like 9 billion points or something. So he doesn't really need to win this race or get these playoff points. He's, for all intents and purposes, locked into that championship 4, barring absolute catastrophe. So, I mean, right now, he is just side by side Nick Lights. He's going for trophies right now at this point and looking good. But man, he got a push from Devin Smirker. Nick Lights a little loose right there on the high line, blocking that lane. Brandon not giving it up.
Yeah, Brandon 6 with a big lead in playoff points, but I'll tell you what, he's a competitor. He'll come out here every single day and race his heart out to try to get a win. He's doing that right now. He's in second, and I'll tell you this much, he wants to be in first. Nick Lights is looking in his rearview mirror, seeing that little smiley face helmet of Brandon 6, which he runs every single week out here at ASRA. Can he make it happen? Back in the pack, though, look at this action. Richard there, Marshall Harris. So much going on. Nick Simpson in the 46. Cautions out. The number 4 car's in the wall.
Yeah, we saw that right before that. I was going to cover the fact that Nick Simpson and Julio Villalobos got together, actually, coming out of turn 2, I believe. Almost had a caution right there, but they both saved it. Richard Woodruff, though, yeah, man, got around. We'll catch that. Has some left side damage. Not too bad, but man, we'll go back and take a look for sure.
Yeah, just spun a little bit and slid into the wall. Not big damage. He can get back out there and keep going. But again, another caution. A little bit later in this race, we'll take a look and see what happened here. As they look like they're on the backstretch, I believe.
Oh, Mealy just gets into him. Just drills him.
He says, hello. Number 4 says, ouch. And he was in the wall, comes in the grass, and comes to a stop. But man, interesting move there. No give or take. Just says, I'm coming through.
Yeah, we'll ride on board Mealy here. I mean, Woodruff is way off the pace right there. You can see it. Yeah, that's really pretty tough. We called it earlier too, where we saw Donnie Honeycutt kind of hit him because, I mean, Woodruff just had a really early, zone for braking or for letting off the fuel gas. So kind of saw the same thing there. Mealy kind of had to predict where he was, but that's tough. I think that'll probably end up going on Mealy there. But either way, yeah, Woodruff just not having so far the race that he wanted, but it's all good. But pit road, it's happening. 75. This is tough, Emery, because 25 laps, it's going to be tough to see if they can go the rest of the way. I think you can make it with a couple more yellows, but it's not going to be ideal. So this might come down to the classic fuel mileage race. We'll see.
Yeah, guess what? That green flag pit stop is out the window. This is kind of a shootout at the end of this race. Tires, fuels, all done. Brandon 6 is out front. Watch out for him. Devin in the 26, that Ford, he comes out second. Frankie in that 48 car, he's in third. Matthew Fleming, and it might be all changed up here. I might have it all mixed up there. I apologize. I'm going off my feed here. I got some live timing and I got some misinformation. I apologize. Let me go back and I'll give you the field down again as they're out there choosing.
The fuel down.
Yeah, the fuel rundown. Losing my words here. I apologize. I'm all
good.
Crazy.
Right now we're choosing. We have that choose car, that beautiful looking choose car made by Harpoon Design. Go and check them out. You won't be disappointed. Yeah, looking very good now.
No one's hit the choose car for a while now.
Oh no, you had to say it. You had to say it.
I did have to say it. You have to say it.
Man, oh man, not good.
I apologize. It's okay. It's gonna happen. We know that's gonna happen. It's happened in the regular season, but
it has.
We shall see. But as it stands now, Steve, Brandon Bowie in the 54, he's up front.
Yes,
in that
sir.
Toyota. Donnie Honeycutt, he's in second. Nick Lights, Frankie Barroso, and Brandon sixth. That's your top five. So that's a little dangerous combo there. Nick Lights, Donnie Honeycutt. Where did Devin drop down? Devin's dropped down to seventh, so he's down a couple spots, but I know he'll work his way back up there. 25 to go, Steve. It's coming down to the end, man. This Michigan race has been wild.
It has, and right now, I mean, Donnie Honeycutt, we talked about him earlier, he is not pitting right there, so he chose to stay out and have that track position, so not a bad move for him. But man, you gotta wonder if, hey, how's that fuel looking? How's those tires? Gonna be tough to end this race that way, but we'll see what he can do. Maybe lead that lap, get that extra point. But we're going back green right here with 25 laps to go. Brandon Bowie making a statement here early in the practice before the race. He was not happy with the car or that setup, but he found something, Emery, and finds himself in that P1 spot.
Yeah, he definitely has, and him up front with some clean air. I like I've been talking about it. I think he feels comfortable up there. Let's see what he can do. Pace car is up. Brandon Bowie, Donnie Honeycutt's going to take us into turns 1 and 2 here at Michigan. 25 to go. Green flag is out. We're back racing.
Bit of a stack up there on the outside, but they get through it. Brandon Bowie with a nice jump in the outside lane. Nick Light's going to try and dive low. Emery, this is anybody's race.
Absolutely, and anybody. I was going to talk about it. Daryl Young, the number 18's been hanging back. Now, does he try to make a move? He's only got 24 laps to go. He's got to do it now.
Yes, sir, he does. Currently in P9. Definitely has enough time to get to the front, but you got to move now. But so far, Brandon Bowie and Nick Lights up front. These two drivers, keep in mind, are not playoff eligible. Brandon Bowie or Nick Lights, they're just going for trophies right now. And right now, leading the field, so we'll see if they can complete that win. Both have wins already in the season.
They're going to leave it all out there. Brandon Bowie, Nick Lights, they're going to try to get that win. But I'll tell you this much, Devin in that 26 is right behind too. Can he make his way and make it happen?
Devin got involved in that caution earlier on and had some damage, but man, right now, ever since then, he worked on that car and he has made it work. Top 5 car still for sure, has the speed. Frankie Barroso, though, on the way back to the front, diving down low.
Matt Smith in that 29, the Chevy, he's there. He's in 6th. He's up 5 spots. Donnie Honeycutt, 2. In that 22, he's in 7th. Daryl Young now making a run.
He is right there on the outside. Had to check up a little bit for Matt Smith. Sticks to it, though. Johnny Honeycutt losing some spots. Those tires just aren't where he wants it. Have fresh tires all around him.
A lot of single file now, Steve. You might see that happen. Not a whole lot of side-by-side.
Yeah, further on back, we're seeing single file pretty much throughout the field.
Only a couple of cars out of line now. And that's the 29 of Matt Smith. He's still running the inside, trying to make that work as we have some cars dive down and try to work with him. Brandon Bowie dives down to try to avoid the draft. He's still up front. Great looking shot there as we look at the number 26 on the outside. Nick Lights up front right on the bumper of Brandon. Tried to make a move on the inside. Couldn't work, but he's still on that bumper. Cars in the back trying to move out of the line.
Marshall Harris diving down low here. Gonna door Kenyon Reel a little bit. Makes it stick.
Marshall Harris was that driver that was in that top 5. He's found himself now back in 11th. Steve, it's kind of interesting to see Matt Smith not really getting in line. Kind of there now he does, but he was working that inside.
Yeah.
And running that the whole time.
Yeah, that just shows the power of this draft, Emery.
Yep, absolutely. Now he finds the draft. I think he's going to like it. Up front, though, look at this. Brandon Bowie, Nick Lights. Nick Lights on the inside. Can he get up front? 17 to go when they cross.
Oh, Donnie Honeycutt trying down low. Trying to make it stick. Those tires might be evening out a little bit.
Absolutely. The 26 was kind of in the middle of the 3 wide. That single file is kind of broken up. Now we got some 2x2. Things are changing. These drivers are trying to make their move right now. They're running out of time. 16 to go when they cross 3 wide.
Donnie checks up a little bit. Oh yeah, it's just getting so tight, Emery. I mean, right now 15 laps to go almost. It's go time. You got to go now if you want to win this race. A win here, keep in mind, if you're a playoff driver, advances you to the next round. So you can forget all about Dover next week and win it here at Michigan.
Oh, Roger Pierce gets a huge hit. I think Roger has more damage than we think. He's back there in 14th position. He's down 6 spots.
Yeah, right now I think for him it's just about, point management, right? Hasn't had a lot of playoff points entering the playoffs. So right now it just has to point his way in if that car's not going to be healthy enough to try and go for a win. So
Steve, I would think that they would stay single file and kind of race this out, but I don't think that's the case. 15 to go, and it looks like we only have 5 to go. They are still battling for position.
That's right.
Inside, outside, 3 wide. Nick Lights drops all the way back there because he gets out of place. Can he find the draft to get back up there? He drops back to 4th or 5th.
And you just saw that right there. Nick Lights got passed by Frankie Barroso for the lead. So Frankie is now the leader, but Nick Lights, he's trapped on the bottom. You can see the effects of the draft on the outside. He can't get up there with those cars, and he's getting freight trained. But Daryl Young, he's right now in P6. He's getting back to the front, Emery. He's got something for these guys.
He's been waiting all day. He's been sitting back there in about 15th and 16th after winning the first stage, but now he's making his way back up there. He's sitting 5th. He's +1 when they started. He's right there at the top 5. Can he keep it rolling? We're running out of time. 13 to go at Michigan. This race is coming to an end, Steve.
I'll tell you what, right now, anybody can win. This is just a draft fest. Get to the front, hold on to it. Never know what can happen. Right now, Frankie Barroso holding on to that stage 1. I'm sorry, that stage 2 win. The pole as well. He's going for that trifecta and get that win.
Ken Adams Q, Oils and NFTs 200 has provided Frankie in that 48's up front. Brandon 6 in 2nd, and Brandon Bowie, he's in 3rd. All Bowie Esport teammates out front. Can that stay? We got a caution.
Kenny Reel involved right here in turn 2. Holding his brakes here for the cars to pass, but yeah, into the outside wall there. Has some left rear damage. Looks pretty beat up. I think that left rear might be either flat or it's pretty well skewed out right there. So not good. We'll go back and take a look.
Yeah, Kenny Real coming over the radio, not too happy about this. We'll go back and take another look at this replay. Looks like there's some contact, possibly on the inside here, and big hit.
Yeah, Kenny Real, this white car right here, the number 11. Ooh, Lanfear just kind of dives down into him. Ooh, Marshall Harris, big damage. This is very similar, Emery, to I think what we just saw with Mealy and I believe Richard Woodruff, where kind of Woodruff just lifted a little bit, a little early, and Mealy got into him. I think this is pretty much that same scenario, unfortunately, in this case for Lanfear and Kenny Real. So Kenny Real's car not looking too hot, but that will essentially maybe not end his race, but end his hopes for a good paying position. Unfortunately, he was up in that top 10, so heartbreak for him. But that's it. Who comes down pit road right now? Who stays out? Everyone happy with their tires? Everyone happy with the fuel? I mean, a lot to happen. Frankie Barroso comes down.
And that is surprising. The whole field's coming down, Steve. That is wild to see. So Frankie's coming in. The whole Bowie Esports team's coming in. This is going to be a wild finish, a shootout, I would say. Fresh tires at the end of this race. I don't know if this will be the last caution, Steve.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, right? Playoff hopes. This is what it comes down to. And right now, tires mean just so much right here, right? And I think if you're these guys, you know that. You want the fuel to last. And right now, look at this. 2 tire stops, 4 tire stops. Frankie Barroso choosing 4 tires, excuse me, but Brandon 6, Nick Lights, Fleming. Looks like it might be 2 tires for them. So bold strategies early. 10 laps to go. Woo.
Steve, 10 laps to go. And I mean, you've seen it all day long, how easy it may be to get to the front. I don't know if you take 2 tires. Me personally, I'm taking 4, but maybe they got some strategy that I don't know about, and we'll see it unfold here. Choose Cars is back out there. They're trying to figure out if they want to start from the inside or outside. 10 to go, Steve. How many laps are we going to go until the end when we go back green flag?
Well, we hope 10, right? But that's the thing. It might not be that. Obviously, cautions breed cautions, as they say. So we'll see how this happens, but that could be it. Keep in mind, too, Emery, I mean, when you cause a caution in this league, you lose 5 points if it's within, that 10 laps of a restart or a start. So that little nugget right there, that could determine what, happens in these rounds. If you find yourself, outside of the round of 8, after Dover next week, but you were 5 points away from that, I mean, did you cause a caution? Did you have a wreck? That could be the scenario. So having a clean race definitely plays its dividends as we go here further, but a lot can still happen. Right now, I want to take a quick shout out one more time before the end of this race to our sponsors. We'll come right back and we'll go green. All right, welcome back to the Q Oils and NFTs 200 here at Michigan International Speedway. We are going on 8 laps to go here for the end of the race. Our first race in the playoffs for the ASRA Cup Series. Right now being led by Richard Woodruff and Nick Light. So Woodruff holding on to his strategy here. We'll see if this plays off for him. Same thing, I believe, with Nick Light. So a lot happening. And we are going back green with 8 laps to go. Who will win this race? Right now it's a shootout, basically. Again, a win here advances you to the round of 8. That pace car takes that left-hand turn. We're going green right now. Flagman has the flag. And we are back green. Woodruff with an amazing restart here. Can he hold off these drivers for 8 more laps to get his first win? And a caution flag already out.
Not sure what brought out this caution, Steve. We got to look back at this. I don't see any cars off the track or any damage.
Yeah.
Maybe Kenny Real, I think, coming out of the pits, possibly, or...
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm not seeing anything here in our system, but let us
take another look here.
Here we go. Kenny Real comes out of the pits right here. After a long time of fixing his car. Again, that left rear broke off on the restart.
So I think he kind of shut the car off to let them restart. He didn't want to wreck the field, and that's what brought out the caution. So not a bad move from Kenny if he thinks he's going to, not be able to handle that car getting out of pits. It is what it is. But man, if it's more than a shootout now than ever, then wow. 5 to go, I think, is when we go back green. This is going to be crazy.
Yeah, that was really odd because, I mean, Kenny, he did the right thing, I guess. I mean, he pulled out, thought maybe the car was fixed at that point, but it clearly wasn't. But he did, tow it back to the pits on the apron. So I'm not sure, I guess, why it brought out a yellow, because typically iRacing won't do that underneath the iRacing, or I'm sorry, the racing surface. So interesting call there, but hey, sometimes that's just, at the end of the day, these things are just computer programs and they can make mistakes too. So Kenny Real didn't cause a caution per se, but either way, under our 11th caution, in reality it's our 9th caution of the day, not counting the stages. So this actually helps Richard Woodruff quite a bit. Again, stayed out on tires, and the closer we get this thing to the end of the race under yellow, the better this works out for him. So we'll see what he can do, Emery. It's getting tight though.
Yeah, no, it really is, and it's crazy to see the board here because Richard, he's up 20 spots, but he's not alone there. Brandon 6 is up 21 spots. Nick Lights is up 17 spots, and Matt Fleming up 11. That is your top 5, it looks like. So starting from the back right now wasn't a bad idea here at Michigan. All these drivers with big-time moves are right up front. Love to see that. Can they hold on to it? One guy that I know that wants to be up front there, and that's Devin in that Ford, that 26, who gotten some wreck, some damage early. He's right there on the end. He can try to make it up to the front. He's in 5th.
Absolutely. I was about to suggest we go and talk to our Stage 2 winner, Frankie Barroso, since we didn't do that at the conclusion of Stage 2, but it's all good. Right now it's about 5 laps to go. I don't want to break their concentration, as this win could mean quite a bit. So we have 1 more lap to go before we go back green. It'll be 4 laps to go once we complete this pitting and this pacing right here. So right now, Emery, right now, just a crazy race, a lot of cautions, not necessarily aggressive driving. I feel like the driving has actually been pretty respectful for the most part. Some driver errors, yes. Some harsh, maybe tight or loose conditions, yes. But overall, for a playoff race, I think it's been pretty tame in the sense of, aggression levels.
No, for sure. And here's the strategy call. The guys that took the 2 tires, I think they have it. I think they have what it takes to stay up front. The guys that had 4 tires that maybe thought they had a little bit more time to make up to the front, I don't think that's the case anymore. So it's going to be wild to see if they have time to make it to the front. I just don't think they do. I think they ran it out.
I think you nailed it. Yeah, the 4-tire guys, they need this thing to go green. And right now, 4 laps to go, still enough time. They can make the outside lane work, maybe, or the middle lane work. Whereas these guys in the front who took 2 probably can't do that, or at least not effectively. So we'll see. If this thing goes green for these last 4 laps, I think we'll see somebody win that, maybe took those 4 tires. But again, Michigan, it's always a wild card. These cars, it's just a matter of, hey, what line do you choose? Who do you draft with? Bowie Esports right now has teammates up front, but they're kind of broken up. So this will come down to see who can make this work.
Yeah, if Brandon 6 and Brandon Bowie and Frankie can all get together, that's going to be some trouble for Nick Lights and Matt Fleming. Can Richard hold off the field up front in that number 4, that Toyota? Pace cars off. We're going to go back. Green flag here at Michigan. Green flag is underway. Richard and Nick Lights are going to take us into turns 1 and 2.
Man, Richard Woodruff just had a meltdown right there. Not sure if he spun the tires or whatnot, but that really killed the outside lane. Brandon 6 right behind 2. Tough break right there. Not sure if he got out of the way on purpose or not, but that is not good. Nick Lights to the front.
Yeah, Richard dropping all the way back could have been a misshift or something, but good thing he got out of the way because everybody else is underway. Nick Lights, Matt Fleming, Brandon Six, your top three.
Hey, Matthew Fleming kind of sneaking his way to the front. He's very good at these tracks. Has not won yet, but man, he is right there. He's got that possibility.
Nick Lights dropped way down below, got some fresh air. He's off to the races, but now Brandon Six and all the drivers. Devin up there, he's now third, pushing that car as hard as he can go. He's in third, battling with Matt Fleming in the 88. That's Chevy.
Smirker gets a great jump right there on the outside lane. Has that side draft. Brandon Bowie, ooh, gets into Matthew Fleming. Fleming tried a late block. Couldn't make it work right here. Brandon Six and Smirker. Can they catch Nick Lights and pass him? Brandon Six clearly faster, gives him a little bump right here. Entry at turn one. Careful now.
Careful now. Brandon Six gives Nick Lights a little touch. Devin in the 26, can he get some help from Matt Fleming because these two drivers out front are pulling away. We got a car sideways in the back. Big contact. Yellow flags out.
Nick Simpson involved. Front bumper flying off. Man, oh man, Emery. Big
Man.
circumstance. Donnie Honeycutt also involved. Not good. What happened here? Looks like it might have involved Tyler Honeycutt from the beginning. Ooh. Maybe not.
It looks like, look at this, Steve, some aftermath. Caution's out. Cars still possibly getting involved here, man.
Yeah, I think actually Roger Pierce was involved as well. Here we go. Roger Pierce and, man, Villalobos just holding on to each other. Not sure what, if Rogers just net coded to him right there or what, but he was not getting off of him. We'll take one more peek at it.
And Steve, if you thought tensions were high before playoffs, they just got elevated.
Oh, for sure.
Into round of 8 next week at Dover.
This is a little earlier, but let's take a look at this. Villalobos dives low right here. Has some speed up against Roger, but kind of comes up the track, leans on Pierce a little bit. Pierce, though, just can't get off of his left side. Again, we talked about it earlier, right? I mean, once you have that net code and it's kind of stuck to those doors, it's so hard to get off of it. And I think we just saw that right there, too, for sure. So Roger Pierce, Johnny Honeycutt involved, as well as Nick Simpson. Has some front end damage. That left front wheel's not even spinning. So really tough break for him and his contender hopes, at least for now. Still another race to go next week. So a lot left to go, Emery. But, man, this is going to bring out a green-white checkered finish.
We haven't had too many of those this year, but here at Michigan, we are going to have that. And just to talk about that netcode situation, man, it's just like a magnet. You can't get off that car, and you almost don't want to slam on the brakes because you're going to cause more damage. As Nick Lights almost hit the Choose car, that would have been wild. That was pretty close. But yeah, you can't just slam on the brakes and get off that car because your guys are stuck, right?
Yeah.
And if you do that, you're going to cause more cautions behind you. So they tried to keep it clean, just didn't happen. And unfortunate day for a few of those drivers, as I don't think they're going to come back on the track.
Yeah, definitely just a tough break for them. I mean, this is Michigan, right? This is just, I mean, draft fest and close quarter conditions definitely does not help that. But either way, I mean, we're going to find our, essentially our third green and white checkered of the race, Emery, because stage 1 and 2 ended that same way. So it's a very, very unique situation for this race. So I guess we should have expected this, but yeah, so we get 3 shots of this green, white checkered basically right now. Next time by, they'll take the green flag. And then if a yellow were to come out, we'll just go back under yellow and we'll try it again 3 more times. But if they take the white flag, the leader, then no more cautions will be thrown out. And next time by, they will take the checkered flag and that'll end the race. So this right here, it's going to be interesting, Emery. Just already a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety for these guys trying to get this win. But, man, a lot can happen. Devin Smirker in P2, he's got good tires. So does Brandon 6. So what happens here? Can they beat Nick Lights? And can Devin Smirker in the Q Oil and NFT 200 get his first win of the season? We're about to find out.
Man, if Devin can get a win here, first race of the playoffs, that's going to give him a lot of confidence down the stretch next week at Dover. He's got to finish strong here first, though. 3 laps to go. We're wrapping this race up here at Michigan. Can't wait to see the final. Nick Lights, Devin in that 26, Brandon 6, Frankie Barroso, and Matt Fleming, your top 5. As they go one more time around this corner, we're going to have a green-white checkered flag. Can't wait as this pace car comes off. We're going to go back green. Steve, unbelievable race so far. It's going to be a shootout. Can Devin and Nick Lights do what it takes? Devin, I know for a fact, wants to win. We're going to go back green at Michigan. Pace cars off. Green flags out. We're back live. Devin and Nick into turns 1 and 2. Can Brandon 6 and Frankie Barroso work together as teammates to get to the front?
Devin right now has no help down low. Brandon 6 going to go with Nick Lights right here. You need help to get that draft, and right now he doesn't have it.
I think Brandon 6 made the right move. He jumps on the outside. Can Matt Fleming work with him? Nick Lights also makes a head move. He jumps out front on the outside as well. Devin, though, watch out on the inside of Brandon 6 and Matt Fleming.
That white flag about to be in the air, sponsored by Sim Motion. This race is official. This will be the finish. The checkered flag next time by.
Devin's trying to make that move. Does he have it? What it takes? Nick Lights up front still. Devin's now in second. They're battling. Brandon 6 takes over. He's now in second place. '26 gets into Brandon 6.
Oh!
Spins him. Brandon's going to fall back a little bit. Nick Lights still up front. Nick Lights going to get a win here at Michigan. Matthew Fleming in second. Frankie Barroso's in third. That's your top 3. Man, Devin got into it with Brandon 6, and 6 went turning. Unfortunate for him.
Man, oh man, Nick Lights comes out with his second win of the season. Got his first win at Pocono. Ironically, where Devin Smirker and Brandon 6 had some drama on the last lap, this time, the same thing. So Nick Lights just finds a way to win these races where they have their drama. Nick Lights, though, again, not hunting for a playoff victory or a championship, just out here for trophies. And man, finds himself in the winner's circle again at Michigan. Incredible job by that number 12 Harpoon Design machine.
Great win by Nick Lights in the Chevy, doing what it takes to come out here and get that win. A true testament for him. He's a fantastic driver. He's going to burn it up. He came up from 19 spots, started from the back, made his way all to the front. Nick Lights in the 12's your winner.
Looking very good. Nick Lights with a huge win. Matthew Fleming couldn't quite get to victory circle, but Matthew Fleming in a P2 position, so did the best job out of all the playoff drivers and finds himself in a great position in points moving into Dover. So a fantastic job. And then Frankie Barroso, again, your pole sitter and stage 2 winner, finds himself in P3. What an incredible job. Let's go back and revisit that white flag lap real quick before we talk to our top 3. We have some things to discuss right here involving these drivers.
What a wild ride at the end here as they're crossing.
Well, watch this right here.
Devin's,
yeah, Devin on the white flag lap.
yeah, just pushes this inside. They're going to be battling all the way back here as they go into turns 3 and 4. And it looks like Devin just got in the back of Brandon 6.
Yeah, just comes up, and that was kind of it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Brandon 6 typically pretty good at saving those, but that's some big contact, and unfortunately sent him flying. Devin's going to finish in 4th. But man, oh man, it's just tough racing. I know Devin wanted it bad and wanted to come out here and get that win. Just falls right out of that top podium position. But 6, he drops all the way back. I think he finishes 16th.
Yeah, 17th on the day for Brandon 6. Had a chance to win it right there at the end, but I mean, yeah, the pressure's on. I mean, Brandon 6 didn't necessarily need, to win that race again. Came in with a heap of playoff points, so this wreck at the end doesn't really hurt him either. So, but again, just a tough break. Nick Lights, though, is your winner. Let's go real quick and thank our sponsors. We'll come right back and talk to our top 3. All right, folks, we're back at the conclusion of the Q Oils and NFTs 200. And man, what a crazy opening to the ASRA playoffs we have had tonight at Michigan. Right now, your winner is Nick Lights, second-time winner on the season. But right now, third place is Frankie Barroso. And we're going to go back down and talk to him real quick if we can. Let's sneak him on down here real fast. Here he is, Frankie Barroso, man. Great job, pole sitter and stage 2 winner. Couldn't quite get that win at the end, but man, a great showing for you today. How'd that race go for you?
The race went okay, I'd say. I led a good number of laps early. Was in the pack a good bit. It was kind of fun. It was really tough to pass, especially the older the tires got. It was really hard to pass, and we were just playing the strategy. I probably messed up by taking 4 on that last stop, but I just didn't know what 2 tires were just going to feel like, and considering the cars were already loose enough, I didn't want to take that chance. So I was like, I'll just take 4, see what happens, and I got a P3 out of it. I'd say mostly out of luck.
Hey, good to see. Talk to us real quick about that last lap. I mean, you had a pretty good view of, Smirker and 6 getting together there at the end. So what'd you see from your windshield?
I saw the 26 overdrove the corner and tangled into Brandon. So, I mean, it was pretty self-explanatory. It's a mistake. We all make mistakes. Devin apologized immediately. So, it is what it is. I feel for 6 because he had a shot at the top 3, and it really sucks. But at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. Devin is no higher than anybody else. We all make mistakes, so the 6. And these things happen as long as Devin apologized. at least to 6 personally, and I think he did. I'm not sure, but as long as that happens, then that's all good.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, man, awesome job today. 2 more playoff points to add to your total. So next week at Dover should be a lot easier for you. So congrats again on the P3. We'll see you next week.
Hey, man, see y'all next week.
Alrighty, there he is. Frankie Barroso. We're going to bring in next Matt Fleming. Comes in P2. There he is. Matthew Fleming comes down P2. Great finish today. Kind of up and down for you, man. We're back of the pack, middle of the pack, and find yourself at the end in that second spot after some last lap dramatics. So talk to us about your race, man, and how you did.
I mean, it was definitely a real, like you said, up and down race. I can't say, I don't know how I really got this P2. I mean, if it wasn't for the last, their corner with 26 and 66, I definitely would be sitting in like 4th, 5th. I definitely did not have a car to beat, but hey, I'll definitely take P2 going into playoffs. Definitely helped to run. Man, it's just the high side, just you couldn't get away from it. Once you actually had a few laps on your tires, it just kind of one lane track, but it is what it is. We'll just move on to Dover.
Yes, sir. And Dover right now, I mean, you had a good, again, finish today, so should make next week a lot easier for you playoff points wise and just points in general. So great job there. Talk to us real quick just about like netcode and stuff. Did you notice it was pretty well strong? Because we saw a lot of wrecks today that seemed like netcode was definitely a culprit.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. One that stands out to me was when Brandon Bowie, there on the backstretch, just kind of, once he got below me, it just sucked our cars together, made a little bit of contact. We both kept it straight, obviously, there, but netcode is really a pain in the butt tonight.
Looking good, man. Well, hey, next week again, Dover. Give us a shout out real quick to your sponsors, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Shout out to Flem Dogs Auto Repair and this 88 Chevy. And then we got Wheels America, Murphy's Mechanical in San Antonio, Texas, and MB Roofing, San Antonio, Texas. And of course, I want to shout out our Harpoon Design. Does all of our paint jobs. They're always amazing. Shout out to wife and kids, letting me do this here tonight. And shout out to you guys, Steve, running this league, and you guys up there in the booth. I'll be excited to watch this one all over again. And everyone out there, have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Beat us to it. Hey, man, we'll see you next week. Same thing to you.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty, we'll bring in the man of the hour again. Nick Lights does it like he always does. Let's bring him on in here. Nick Lights walks away from a second win in the season. First at Pocono, second here at Michigan on these big tracks. Nick, talk to us about the race today. How'd the car feel? Man, walking with a huge win today. Not really playoff chasing, obviously, just going up here for trophies. But looking pretty damn good, man. How'd you do it?
Appreciate it. No, just I guess having that momentum with whoever was behind me there at the end. I know we finished 1-2 with Matt Fleming and all them, but it was a struggle. I feel like early on in practice and qualifying, we messed up a little bit in qualifying, which put me in the back, and just played it safe throughout the whole race, and just worked our way up to the front. And strategy helped us out a lot to get up to the front and take the lead there at the end.
Yes, sir. It just looked really good. I mean, talk to us like how'd the car feel today. It sounds like maybe tight conditions or whatnot, but a lot of speed out there. It looked like I saw you guys hitting over 200 miles an hour at some point, so pretty cool. But how'd the car feel overall?
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. I like the setup, whatever it was. I know being in the draft, it was being behind somebody and getting that right front in the air made it a little bit tight, corner exit and stuff, but if you could work the air pretty good, it felt pretty good to drive.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, awesome job again. Second win of the season. Sometimes that's a great motivator, right? Because you're not really having the pressure of winning a championship or going for it. You can just kind of go out there, win trophies, and take them home. So awesome job for you, man. Next week at Dover, We'll see you then, and good luck and go celebrate.
Appreciate it. First, I got to thank Flim Dogs Auto Repair, MB Roofing, Murphy's Mechanical, Wheels America, and Harpoon Design for the paint. And yeah, we'll carry this momentum into Dover. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you next time.
Yes, sir. You too.
Alrighty, Emery. What an incredible race we had tonight, man. Just an awesome time so far. Michigan always proves to be a fun time. These cars on these big tracks don't necessarily prove to be, super thought-provoking. It's just about draft usually and overall speed. So you really can't get the feel for, guys saving tires or just, talent or skill, right? It's sometimes just like Talladega and Daytona. But right now we saw some cautions, saw some good racing, and overall a great start to our playoffs.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think this gives you an idea of what the playoffs are going to be like the rest of the season. Michigan did not disappoint, man. It was a great time out here. Big shout out to the number 12 of Nick Lights getting that win. Matt Fleming, though, hey, one of those drivers, he's in that playoff contention. He can make that happen. That's going to give him a lot of confidence later in this playoff run. So shout out to him. Good job. And Frankie, as always, that's their P3. Man, big shout out to everybody at home. Race Day Live, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for Ken Adams Q, Oils and NFTs. Thank you for the sponsor, everybody. Admin Box, Units, Movement Portable Storage, Battle Beaver, Harpoon Design, and Sim Motion. Thank you guys for all being a part of this. Next week is Dover. We want to thank everyone. And hey, have a happy Thanksgiving. Eat a bunch of turkey. Have some drinks. Let loose. We appreciate you. Have a good night. And we'll see you next week at Dover.